Happy full moon, Ambitchious. It's me, your fearless leader, Katie motherfucking Boyd. So it's super early in the morning when I'm recording this. I've been up since probably about 5 a.m. And I always love to get up early every day, regardless. Like, I'm just an early bird. That's just like who I am. But on the full moon mornings, because we have a full moon tonight in Pisces, on the full moon mornings, I always get up super early because I have this like obsession. I know I'm so weird, but I have this obsession with seeing the sunrise on the same day as this like incredible full moon. And if you go to my stories on Instagram, you'll actually see like what the sun looked like this morning as it was rising. It was freaking glorious, like incredible. And when I do that, I go out and I set my intentions for the day, and I love to do my ambituals in the morning outside under the sun as it's rising. So I already did that this morning, but I wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about the full moon that's happening in Pisces. It's also called the harvest moon if you are living in the United States of America. Maybe in other countries, they might call the moon different names. I'm not really sure, but in America, we call it the harvest moon. And it's kind of this like mixture of, Native American colonialism and a couple other, farmer type things. And really at the end of the day, this is all about like when they're harvesting the crops. So when the moon is full in September, back in the Dizzle, before we had all the technology that we have today, they would use the moon to say, okay, it's time to harvest the fall crop. So we're going to stay up a little bit later in the day because, the corn is not going to pick itself. Let's be honest. Okay. So tonight we are going to have this incredible moon. I don't know if you guys live in the U.S. And what part of the U.S. you live in, but I have followers and friends and clients and colleagues from literally all over the world. So I love hearing like what the moon experience is like for them. But last night I was outside and I have a beautiful fire bowl in my front yard. Everyone thinks that when they see that area in my home, it's my backyard, and it's actually my front yard, and my backyard is where I have my outdoor kitchen and all that stuff. And it all has to do with feng shui. I don't know if you guys have been watching my stories over the last couple of days, but my shaman, Kaylin Rain, and his wife, Ginny, they came and they slept over a couple days ago, and we recalibrated all of the energies in my yard and in my home and just made it like super high charged, high vibrational frequency, because I'm stepping into this like next phase of my business, of my life. Some big, huge things are coming up that I can't talk about yet, but you guys are going to be off your rocker, excited and surprised when you hear all about it. So I wanted them to come over, and we had dinner together. It was a beautiful, beautiful night, and they ended up sleeping over because they live in Maine. And my shaman went out into the yard to my Genesis point, which is the power point of my property, and that's where all of the information from the earth comes into my land. So if I'm having a problem in life or I'm really confused, I'll actually go up to my power point, my Genesis point on my land, and I'll sit there and I'll meditate. And if you go back to my stories, if they're not archived yet, you'll see him out there with all of his ancient ritual daggers from Tibet and all of these ancient artifacts, these spiritual ancient artifacts from all across the globe. And he charges my land, and it's really just incredible. And his wife does all the feng shui in my house. So you always want to put fire in the backyard, and that's why we put a kitchen back there, because we have like a full kitchen and grill and the whole 9 yards. But I also have fire in the front. I'm not going to get too much into feng shui because this has nothing to do with it. But I like to ramble. Plus it's like 7 o'clock in the morning where I live, so I'm hardly even awake. So they were there the last couple days, and yesterday they had gone home, and I just went outside and I just sat in my front yard, and I was just like in awe of the moon. It was so freaking incredible. So wherever you live in the world, please get out into nature tonight, and just be with Mother Moon and enjoy her and just do some rituals. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that today on here. So the harvest moon. Okay. It's the harvest moon always in September. That's just the name of it. There's other names too, but in America we call it the harvest moon. And it's always in a different sign. So right now, the moon is in Pisces. Pisces, which is the 12th house of the zodiac, is, there's a lot of people, and I love Pisces, don't get me wrong, but a lot of people call Pisces like the dumping ground for astrology, because Piscean people are very, very watery. They're very emotional. So I'm not saying that you're going to have a full nervous breakdown in the next couple days, but if you've been feeling a little angsty, you've been feeling a little emotional, you've been feeling a little like all over the place, it's not just the moon, it also has to do with, we're going into Mercury retrograde. Mercury went retrograde yesterday. So I think it's just like a beautiful little concoction, a melange, if you will, of a lot of energies coming in between Mercury retrograde. There's other planets retrograde right now. And now with this Piscean full moon, like giddy the fuck up, like put your assless chaps on, because we're going for a ride. Like that's literally what's going to be happening. So Pisces, they get a bad rap. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, they're so emotional. Yes, but it's a spiritual emotionality. It's not just like they're like big crybaby tits. Pisces people are very emotional, but it's this deep spiritual emotionality. Piscean people are very, they've lived a lot of lives. They've had a lot of reincarnations. They're very wise. They're very connected to the divine. And they do get a bad rap. So to all my Pisces brothers and sisters out there, don't let them be haters on you. You guys are amazing. And this is like the energy that's coming in. Actually, we as a collective consciousness need it right now. So what's going to be happening over the next couple days? The energies that I've channeled in the last couple days of my meditations about this moon is that your mind is going to be wandering all over the place. And your mind is going to be wandering to a place that's like, what the fuck am I fucking doing? Like, what am I doing? Like, is this what I'm doing really serving me? Am I being authentic? Is this thing that I'm doing helping me feel connected to divine source energy? What about my life could be different if I only shifted my energetic frequency to become more spiritual, to become more connected to the divine? Remember, Piscean people are very spiritually connected. Like, Piscean people are usually like the healers. They're usually the Reiki masters, and they're usually the elders in the spiritual community. I have had a lot of people that I've worked with in the past as my mentors and coaches and spiritual practitioners that have been Piscean. I'm an Aquarius. So a very, very big different energies between me and Piscean people, but it works. It just balances itself, you know, because I can be very unemotional, even though like inside I'm like dying inside, like I'm like, oh my God, but I will never show it. Where Piscean people will just like, they'll wear their hearts on their sleeves, which can be like a really beautiful thing, right? So the next couple of days, your mind's going to be wandering. You're going to ask yourself, like, how can you do the things that you love differently? And how can you do the things that maybe you don't love differently? So that could be relationships. That could be boundaries. That could be health and wellness. That could be your spiritual practices. It's how you handle your money, how you handle your home. You know, we always talk about in Ambitchious, the 6 life makers. So your mind is going to be wandering all over the place and wandering in a flow like water, you know? So let that happen. Don't fight that from happening. Because a lot of people, when their minds start to go, we're like, no, we got to stay focused. But sometimes it's like, almost like we have to go into that like watery daydream where we're like, you know, maybe the things that I am doing aren't serving my highest, greatest good. And maybe the things that I am thinking or saying, or the people that I'm surrounding myself with, or, you know, what if I'm like wasting a lot of my time? And, you know, my grandmother always used to say to me when I was a little girl, Katie, just because you're rocking on a rocking chair doesn't mean you're going anywhere. And I think so many people that I coach from all across the globe, they think just because they're busy that they're moving the needle forward. And it's just not true. You know, like 80% of my income comes from like 20% of work. It's the Pareto principle. You know, it's a real thing. And I think that we're like, oh, if we just like act busy all day and we are like very much in our masculine energy that we're going to get shit done. And we have to take a step back, especially as women, and say, how can I be more in my divine feminine? How can I be more like water? Because, like water can flow, it can crash, it can take the shape of any vessel that it's put into. And we, in a lot of ways, need to start being more like that. Because a lot of us, including myself, are very in their masculine. I want to get shit done. I want to freaking do it the fastest, most efficient, best way possible. And sometimes that's just not what we need. Sometimes we need to slow down and flow and do things with a more precise intention. That's why this full moon is so freaking important for every zodiac sign. I don't care if you're a Virgo or you're a Scorpio, or you're a Capricorn, does not matter. It's going to really be amazing, for all of us, right? So this is my biggest thing that you guys should be doing. And then I'm going to talk about some baby witch shit because I know people love baby witch shit. I love baby witch shit too. But there's a time and a place for baby witch shit. And I feel like we have to do baby witch shit. But we also have to really think realistically. And we have to sometimes also think three-dimensionally, which, I don't like the third dimension. I'm all about the fifth dimension and higher. But I think that sometimes when you're thinking in the third dimension, it helps you a little bit. I'm going to talk about that. So tonight, full moon. Yeah, charge your crystals. Amazing. Put them on a platter outside. Just make sure that it's not raining where you are. And if it is raining, make sure that you put your, your vessel or your platter or whatever, however you're going to charge your crystals, like under an overhang. So, it doesn't get wet. Make sure you don't put certain crystals outside to charge, like selenite and stuff like that, because it will disintegrate. It's almost like salt. Okay. So charge your crystals. This is a great day to clean your home and sage. If you have been following my stories this week, I did that on Thursday. I ripped my house to shreds, and not that my house isn't always clean because I'm a psychopath, but I really did a deep clean and I saged everything. And then my shaman came and he did all his work, and my feng shui master came and she did all her work, and it was just amazing. So my home is energetically charged, but today I already did my habituals, I set my intentions, I did my Palo Santo. So my energy of my home is really clean, but that's what you guys should be doing, right? Do sage or Palo Santo or do your bay leaves or any of that kind of stuff. Charge your crystals. Also, I heard from Spirit this morning, if you have an amethyst, sleep with an amethyst under your pillow. Because the amethyst is a super duper spiritual, it's a super duper spiritual crystal, and it's super encoded with information. And that's why it's so important when you wake up in the morning not to go right on your phone until you've done all your habituals, because you're setting the tone, you're setting the tone for your day. So sleep with it. This is just what Spirit told me yesterday. Sleep with an amethyst tonight under your pillow. Okay. This is the biggest thing that I want you to do. Okay. So usually on a full moon is when you write down all the things that no longer serve your highest, greatest good, and then you burn it and all that great stuff. And I talk a lot about this in Ambitchious Academy and my programs and all that kind of stuff. I talk a lot about this in my podcast, Ambitchious. So I'm not going to get into the mundane stuff. This is what Spirit is telling me to tell you to all do. Okay. Good morning. This is what Spirit's telling me. Okay. So what I want you guys to do tonight is I want you to take out a white piece of paper, and I want you to write down everything that you have as goals. Everything. I desire to be, I desire to have $40 million in the bank. I desire to have a body like a Victoria's Secret model. I desire to find the man of my dreams and have, children and a golden retriever named Fred. All the things in the world that you want to start a business. You want to start a nonprofit. You want to go to Africa and dig wells. I don't know what the hell that you desire, but I'm just putting it out there. Just write it all down. 20, 30, 40 things. Just let it flow. Don't judge yourself. Don't be like, oh my God, how am I going to be able to do that? I'm only making $50,000 a year. How am I going to make $5 million a year? in Ambitchious, we teach the Ambitchious Abundance Affirmation. And part of that Ambitchious Abundance Affirmation is, and I'm not going to get too much into it today because, you should have read my damn book. And I also talk about this a ton on my podcast. But in my Ambitchious Abundance Affirmation, I always have people write down, how they're going to receive, let's just say, the money that they desire. Okay. So they write down their Ambitchious Abundance Affirmation. They say it every morning with part of their habituals and every night before they go to bed. And part of that Ambitchious Abundance Affirmation is saying that, and I'm going to just paraphrase it, is this is how you are going to receive this money, but you also believe in God and spirit and the universe has your back. So you may say, and I'll just say my Ambitchious Abundance Affirmation without saying numbers and things like that. So I now command my subconscious mind to align itself with a precise energetic vibrational frequency that mirrors the exact goals, desires, and aspirations that I am about to affirm. By January 1st, 2023, I will have in my possession fill in the blank. This money will come to me through the exceptional service of empowering people all across the globe to live life ambitiously. The outstanding services that I will provide for this money are included, here we go, but not limited to KBMFC, Katie Boyd's Misfit Club, and Ambitchious. My faith and focus are so strong that there are no other alternatives. I can see, feel, and experience this money now. It is my birthright. It is now awaiting transfer to me, and so it is. Okay? So remember how I said it's included, but not limited to. It's included, but not limited to. What does that mean? What it means is you say, this is what I'm going to do for this money. But I don't know, I'm not God. I'm not the universe, even though God is in me and I am part of the universe and all that jazz. But what I'm saying is, how do you know that 1 month of your life could give you what you desire for 10 years? You don't know. So every time that you play so small, every time that you put yourself in this box, you are not allowing God and the universe to do their work and come and co-conspire and co-create with you. So when you say I'm going to work at my 9-to-5 job and I don't know how I'm going to make $5 million, but it's dude, no, you just have to say, my faith and focus are so strong that there are no other alternatives, and just say, God, universe, whatever you believe in, I trust you. I know that you have so much in store for me because I'm here doing my work. I'm here showing up every day. I'm here for myself, empowering women and giving them tools and showing up in service and showing up for free. I don't get paid to come on here with my titties hanging and, my leopard outfit on. No one's paying me to do this. I do this because this is part of my mission. This is part of my goal. This is part of my birthright. And this is why God put me here, And that's why I can do such good work, because I know why I'm here. Even though there's days where I don't feel so fresh and I don't feel like motivating anyone, I can hardly fucking motivate myself, I still show up, right? And that is truly what being ambitious is all about. So obviously, if you don't have your Ambitchious Abundance Affirmation, you need to learn how to do that. You can buy my book or you can join a program, and I actually work one-on-one, step by step with all the girls in my programs, and we write those things together, and I teach them how to do everything, soup to nuts. So if you're I don't know how to do it, shut the fuck up. Join a program, buy a book, listen to a podcast. I don't know what else to tell you. Stop being a fucking victim. So let's go back for a second. So I said, write down all the goals that you've ever had in your entire life. I don't care how outlandish, how crazy, how fucking far-fetched they are. Okay? I don't care. Write them down. Then what I want you to do is I want you to abbreviate that list, and I want you to choose 5 things. Okay? Just 5. So I want you to choose 5 things out of that list. It could be, like I said, the list could be 20, 30, 40 things deep. And I want you to take the rest of those things and I want you just to throw them away. Put them in a drawer somewhere. Don't look at them. Don't think about them. Don't talk about them. Don't even breathe on them. Take the 5 things that you wrote that are your 5 top most important desires, goals, dreams, and aspirations. And take the next 5 years and just focus on working on those 5 things. So let's just say your top 5 goals that you chose. I'm just going to throw out some ideas. Let's just say the top 5 goals that you chose are as follows. To become the number 1 female in the extreme motivation space. Okay? To have the health and the wellness and the physical body of, I don't know, Naomi Campbell. I'm like aging myself, whatever. Victoria's Secret model. I don't fucking know. Sports Illustrated swimsuit model. Okay? I desire to find the man of my dreams and, talk about him. What does he look like? What does he do? What's his nature? Like all those things. And get married and have 2 children. Okay? The 4th one could be to buy a home in a certain part of, your state or your country and have it be your sanctuary. Have it be your like Zen sanctuary. And then the 5th one could be, to start a nonprofit organization that helps, orphans in Kenya. I don't know. Okay. Then what I want you to do is I want you to write down. So for each one of those 5 goals, all the things that you have to do, every day to achieve those goals. So let's just say you're like, my desire is to have the body of a Sports Illustrated supermodel. This is so 3-dimensional, but I'm just throwing it out there. So my desire is to have the body of so-and-so, so-and-so. Now, obviously, you're not going to have the same body as this person, but like the look, the leanness, the curves, whatever. How are you going to do that? Well, you're probably going to have to eat really healthy food, right? So you're going to have to choose some kind of a meal plan, some kind of like a nutrition plan that you're going to go on, right? And you're going to stick to, and you're going to have it become part of your lifestyle. You're probably going to have to work out at least 5 days a week, hard, right? Like you're going to have to lift, you're going to have to do yoga, Pilates, you're going to have to do cardio. You're probably going to have to do some fasting and some intermittent fasting, right? If you don't know how to do that, we have a program called A28P. It's phenomenal. It's literally changed thousands of women's lives from all across the globe. And these women release between 25 and 40 pounds in a month. I don't know about you, but I make shit happen, okay? And I have to hydrate every day. I have to take my supplements every day. I have to sleep 8 hours a day, right? I have to stretch. All the things that we talk about, right, in Ambitchious land. So if that's what you desire, you probably can't fucking drink every night. You probably can't have a bottle of wine every night, right? You probably can't not work out. You probably can't eat Doritos and Fritos and Cheetos and Tostitos and all the O's. You probably can't. I'm not trying to be mean. It's just the truth. Like if you want your body to look a certain way, or if you want to do a fitness competition or a pageant or something like that, or some kind of a race or a marathon, you can't treat your body like a trash can. You have to treat it like a temple, right? Same thing with like work or relationships or whatever. You have to have a clear-cut, concise goal and reverse engineer those goals. But this is the problem, is number one, y'all don't even think that the goals that you have, you can achieve. So right off the bat, you've already fucking failed. So if you're like, I desire to be, a multimillionaire, et cetera, and you're working a 9-to-5 job that there's no room for movement, right, up the corporate ladder, if you're working a job, right? Or you are a coach and you're like, I hate social media. I don't want to use social media. I don't want to build an email list. I don't want to go out and do free shit for people. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. You're probably not going to be like one of the best coaches in the world. I mean, I was the best coach for a decade in the pageant industry. You know how much free shit I did? You know how many, like these bitches thought that I was just like bending over backwards for them, coaching them for free. And guess what? I did. Because I knew if I coached these big people for free, that the smaller people will come and they're going to be the true testament of what Katie Boyd's Misfit Club was for over 20 years. Right? People think that it's just easy to be great, and it's not fucking easy to be great. It takes blood, sweat, tears, sacrifice. Like nothing good comes from a comfort zone. Pain is what's going to get you to where you want to be. The more pain that you're in, the more sacrifice that you have to make, the bigger the reward. That's why I make my programs so difficult. That's why I make my coaching style so extreme, because everyone else is so like, oh, you're great. Oh, you're wonderful. Oh, you're great. No, you're not great. Because if you were great, you wouldn't even be here. You would be probably coaching people for a living. Let's be honest. So I think that what we have to really do is we have to nail down 5 goals and stick to those 5 goals. And when all these other little tiddlywink things come into the periphery, we just go, nope, has nothing to do with my 5 goals. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Has nothing to do with my 5 goals. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. And the problem is we get distracted. So what happens is we're like on this incredible path. We're on this incredible journey and we're doing it and we're doing it and we're doing it and doing it. And all of a sudden they're like, squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. And your whole life is one big squirrel, squirrel, squirrel. And then you make all these fucking excuses because you're so distracted. And anytime that you have distractions, you're not going to fucking win. You're going to fail. And that has been, I would say 99.9% of the women I've coached over the last 20 plus years, the reason why they fail is they have way too many options. They don't want to come out of a comfort zone and they're way too fucking distracted. And they don't say, come hell or high water, I don't give a fuck if I lose my life in the pursuing of this thing, the dream, the goal, the aspiration, I'm going to do it. That's why I say in my Ambitchious Abundance affirmation, my faith and focus is so strong that there are no other alternatives. Say it with me. My faith and focus are so strong that there are no other alternatives. My faith and focus are so strong that there are no other alternatives. And the problem is why you're a loser, frankly, is because you have way too many options and you allow yourself to get distracted constantly. And then, you come to someone like me at the end, like when you're like ready to like give up. And then I tell you the truth, like you're being distracted. You are not focused on these 5 things or even 3 things. It doesn't have to be 5. It could be literally be 2. It could be 1. I mean, all the great people in the world, like they just did this one thing. Like Mozart, for example, because I love music, wasn't like, I'm going to play the piano and I'm going to create this music, but then I'm going to go skydiving and then I'm going to become like a wine enthusiast and then I'm going to, hike Mount Everest and then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to start an orphanage and then I'm going to go over there and I'm going to like be a baker, a candlestick maker. No, he was like, I'm fucking sitting in this goddamn room with this piano until my fingers fall off. And that's why he's Mozart. It's the same thing with, great artists or great writers or, people who are incredible chefs, for example. Like all the most incredible chefs in the world who have like Michelin star restaurants, they're not like, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to like make bicycles, and then on the weekends, I'm going to dress up like a clown, and I'm going to go like to kids' birthday parties. No, they're like, I'm cooking and I'm creating. And that's the problem is no one wants to just stick to a couple of things. They want to be all over the place and then like they just dilute themselves. And what is the old saying? The jack of all trades, the master of none. And that's why I created A28P. I created A28P, which is my signature entry program. No one can come into working with me unless they do 1 month of A28P because that's like the foundation of everything ambitious. And during the A28P protocol for those 28 days, it's like you're focusing on these things and that is it. There's no other alternatives. You're not over here doing paleo. You're not over here doing keto. You're not over here doing veganism. You're not over here doing this. You're not over here like, maybe I'll do some transcendental meditation. Maybe I'll do this thing. Maybe I'll do that thing. No, it's like this is it for 1 month. And that is why the people who do A28P with me, their transformations are so extreme because they're just hyper focused on this one thing for 28 days. And here's the deal, guys. The time is going to pass regardless. So what the fuck are you waiting for? Why are you wasting your life like, selling your ass on every sidewalk? Stand on one sidewalk and sell your one ass on that one sidewalk. Like, I hate to say it like that, but it's true. Like, just commit and decide. And the word decide means cut away and kill off any other options. You guys never decide. You don't make decisions. You make 25 decisions instead of just one decision, and then you wonder why, at the end of the day, you feel like a bag of smashed assholes. So take tonight, during this full moon in Pisces, which is the most transformational spiritual moon of the whole year, and decide who you're going to be going forward, and write down all your goals, and take 5 from that list of 40, and just take the next 5 years and focus on that. And if you feel like you're not strong enough to do it on your own, hire a coach, join a protocol, like join H2AP, join Ambitchious Academy, like make a decision. Stop sitting in the corner spanking your monkey, because all these other humans, they're gonna pass you. And you're gonna be like in the slow lane for the rest of your life. And I really truly believe that when we die, because we all will, there's only 2 things in the world that are 100%, death and taxes. And when we die, and wherever we go after we die, because I don't know what that is, I'm not God. Okay, so after we shuffle off this mortal coil and we go, I really think that hell, can you imagine, like, we think hell is like, oh, we're going into the hell and the devil shoves pitchforks up our ass for eternity and we burn in flames and we're tortured. No, I think the real hell is meeting the person that you could have been if only you tried. Meeting the person that you could have been if only you decided to just focus on these handful of things until you accomplish those goals. If you want to be the best esthetician in the world, just stick to empowering, educating, and entertaining people about skincare. And then when you're doing your services, give the best services possible, right? Show up on your social media and give so much service and so much value for free. Because I want people to say, wow, could you imagine she gives so much for free? What if I paid this bitch? What would happen? And that's how I became a multimillionaire. Just by focusing on the one thing. I'm not talking about, landscaping and then eyelash extensions and then, diarrhea. I'm talking about being ambitious. That is what I'm talking about. That's it. You're never going to hear me talk about anything else. Now, yes, Ambitchious has 6 components to it. The 6 life makers, like I talk about all the time, right? But what you have to understand is I'm never going to go off on a tangent about something else. I'm just not. Ever. And that's why I'm a rich bitch. And that's why I'm effective. And that's why I can have 5-figure days every day and hang out with my friends and go in my backyard and watch the moon or whatever. And go to Europe for 3 weeks and not have to work because I fucking put in the dues for the last 20 plus years. You guys forget that I've been doing this for 20 plus years every day, but even before social media, showing up and helping people and helping people and helping people, right? So if you want to be the best at what you desire, okay, whatever that is, you got to do the work. You got to do the work. They don't give a shit about what you're eating for dinner. They don't give a shit about, whatever. They care about what are you giving them. That's it. So 5 things. Focus on those 5 things. Write it down and start first thing in the morning tomorrow. And do your full moon rituals tonight. I'm telling you, this is the only fucking way. You guys think that there's a magic pill that you shove down your gullet and I have the pills. No, I don't. Because if you listen to me, everything I say is do the work. Do the do. Don't talk about it, be about it. It's like you don't see me like sitting in my house and being like, oh man, I should probably really go live, or I should really like do this on my app, or I should really send out an email. No, I just do it. And I don't have a fucking team. I literally it's me and my online business manager who lives in a fancy bitch RV and just like rolls all over the country. Sometimes we're in different time zones. I mean, there was times that she was in Guam for months and she was like 12 hours in front of me and like we still got the work done. Just she and I, that's it. Everyone's like, well, it's easier for you because you have a team. Who, bitch? Who? Okay? No one's telling me to come here in my nightgown, my titties hanging down to my kneecaps to tell you guys all about what you should be doing on the full moon. I just do it. I just do it because I know that that is what makes the magic happen. Period. Okay? So think about what I said. And if you came a little bit late, I'm going to share this video so you can rewatch it. I'll also send this out in an email form, and I also post this on my app, in my Ambitchious app. So in the meantime, I don't want to hear it anymore. Like, stop fucking complaining. Shut the actual fuck up and do the work and use the energies of the moon and the stars and the planet and all the things that are going on in the universe to help you go to that next level. Okay? Our ancestors have been doing it for thousands of years. It's just got beaten out of us in the last couple hundred years. And now we're reclaiming that. We're re-stepping back into that power because we know it's real. Okay? So if y'all want to be a big dog, you got to get off the porch. If y'all want to be a big dog, y'all got to get off the porch. Okay? And some of you guys are just chilling on the porch pretending to be big dogs and you're not. You're little baby dogs. You're puppies. You got to get off the porch. You got to do the work. You can't just flap your fucking gums and say, I want to, I wish. Wishing and wanting is for losers. Doing is for ambitches. Okay? So if you feel like this video will help inspire someone, share it out. Don't forget to tag me on it so I can say thank you to you, because I always love to thank people who share my stuff, because I know that, you guys have busy lives and like you don't have to do that. But this is an ambitious movement, and I know that I am helping so many people, and I know what I say is true. I feel it in the core of my being. And now just start adopting these little pieces of what I'm saying and start putting them into your everyday life and watch your life go to the next level. Or not. Stay fucking small. Stay average. Stay basic. Stay mediocre. It's literally none of my business, nor do I give a fuck. But I'm still going to come here every day, and I'm going to spit truth, and I'm going to be the bitch I am, and I am going to call you to the carpet, and I am going to talk shit, because we as a society need more women who are rough and tumble and are going to say the fucking truth and not blow smoke up your ass and say, oh, you're beautiful just the way you are. You're amazing just the way you are. You're great just the way you are. You're not fucking great just the way you are. Because you're living at 60% of your fucking potential. And I'm not doing that. And I refuse to. God gave me this one motherfucking life, and I am going to blow the doors off this bitch before I fucking shuffle off to Buffalo. So, all right, guys. In the meantime, stay ambitious. Don't forget to share this, and happy full moon in Pisces. Love you.